Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man.
Hey y'all, hey, we are back for another review of All the Queen's Men. They are back, and they're picking up on season 4 with a bang. At the end of last season, madams, y'all know I gotta do the recap of the last season. I'm gonna try to make this as condensed as possible because I have missed the first 2 episodes. I was on a cruise last week, so I'm gonna put all that at the beginning of this video. Just keep seeing it through to get to the the episode 3 review. Either way, the most significant parts is D.A. Davis. She was able to get a t-shirt that Don owns that has Tina's blood on it. You got to go back and figure out who Tina is just to get caught up. Madam's her dad got abducted, kidnapped, whatever you want to call it, and is now being held by the cartel because she killed the concierge's wife, and they got to get some retribution. So it's a whole lot of gang going on. There's a whole lot of, all that going on while simultaneously trying to fight these charges or not be charged. It's a whole lot happening. Either way, let's just jump in for a quick little part of what happened in season 4, episode 1. Concierge called to gloat about Santiago having her dad, and then Concierge is basically going to call Santiago and tell him that things are going too far and that his business dealers are being affected and they're in jeopardy, and now he wants out. And so now what he's going to do is he's going to place Santiago, which is his wife's dad, against each other so that they can try to take each other out of the picture and so Concierge can skip off into the sunset, right? D.A. Davis is underway messing with Dawn, and she got that shirt, like I said, with Tina's DNA on it, and we learned that the lab was able to confirm that Tina's DNA is definitely on the shirt, and so now we're going to have to fix that. Doc realizes that the shirt is missing finally, and so he has to go to Madam and, of course, tell her what's happening. Madam and the gang, they go to Mexico because they got to go find her dad, so they got guns a-blazing to get her dad back from Santiago. And then we see where Tandy tries to unalive D.A. Rods. I've been saying rocks this whole time, and it's Rods, R-O-D-D-S. I have my closed caption on because I can't hear and read at the same time. I can't half hear. Not diagnosed, but I have to have the captions on. And it's Rods, R-O-D-D-S. So that's what happened in episode 1. Episode 2, Mr. What's his name? I call him Mr. New Orleans, but I can't think of his name. He has the New Orleans accent with the curly hair. Him and Dime finally get down to, the little adult time in the middle of the club in the daytime as if nobody was going to stumble upon them. Anyway, after 2 seconds of performance, not only does the condom break, he is complete. Now, y'all got to read between the lines on that. He finishes and he's horribly apologetic about it, but Dime does not want to hear it. But he does say, like, hey, I'm sorry about the misstep, but I also don't want to have no baby, so what we about to do? And she was like, sir, I'm on the pill, so you don't have to worry about it. Matter of fact, you don't have to worry about me no more. Madam has found Santiago, and she is exacting her revenge. She was able to use some kind of sleeping gas to kind of incapacitate him and get her dad out of there. And then we come back and she see where she has basically torturing him to death. She has impaled him on a spike in the middle of the Mexican heat, and that is going to be his demise. But not before he gets to tell her that Concierge was the one that actually delivered her father to him. So Concierge, again, is playing the 2 people against each other, but Santiago has lost this leg of the battle. And so now Davis, Madam is going to have to deal with Concierge because you played me and you could have left me where I was at. So yeah, D.A. Davis, she threatens Madam's doctor, I think Dr. Fong, to stop her prescriptions, which is her schizophrenic, bipolar, one of those different mental challenges. I don't know the name. I'm just going to go with schizophrenia. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. To stop prescribing her medication, I guess, to mess with her mentally, since we can't get her physically put in jail. At the threat of ruining his practice, and so of course he's going to oblige for now. And then we see Trouble locked in the torture basement in the bottom of the club. Her and Champ have been separated, but this is a part of their punishment for robbing the Black Bottom Boys, which in turn means that they robbed Madam. Now there was a scene where you see Tommy burying somebody, but I thought it was Champ, because he was saying, this is what you get for stealing from Madam. Now it's not Champ and it's not trouble, so I don't know who it was. Either way, we get introduced to a new character as well. It's one of his long lost friends. Can't think of his name right now, so he's gonna be Baldy. Baldy is there, and he's telling them, hey, you know, he's there because he done unalived his supervisor at wherever he worked, and so now he's gonna be looking for a job, and so he's gonna be on the payroll for Madam, I'm sure, to come down the line. Anyway, and so Carla comes back to collect on the thread that the Black Bottom Boys sent out last season, saying, hey, you need to give me one of those two people or both. Somebody needs to pay what those people being Trouble and Champ for robbing us, which is going, don't cause no, Madam has to figure it out because it's going to cause some division between Madam and the Black Bottom Boys, even though her dad used to run that gang and she does run it, but that robbery thing puts some tension amongst the group, so there's some decisions that have to be made. It'll happen in episode 3. All right. And she's going to let them kind of decide their own fate, and we will see that in episode 3 as well. And now we're going to move on. Okay? I hope we're all caught up. I tried to make that as condensed as possible. Let's get into All the Queen's Men, season 4, episode 3, entitled 99 Problems. So Madam calls the concierge to tell him, to give him a heads up, like, I'm on your ass. I know what you did. To tell him that, and to let him know that she has something special in store for him. Like, his torture is going to be way more diabolical, and he just needs to be on his toes. And then Lola shows up. Now, Lola is the cop that works at the precinct, right? Now, if I'm wrong about who Lola is, you tell me in the comments and we'll talk about it. Either way, she is the rookie cop that they tried to send in to be undercover with Madam a couple seasons ago. She posed as an at-risk youth, and they know that that's a soft spot for Madam, or has been in the past, and so she was able to infiltrate a little bit, but she wasn't able to get any information, anything viable before they figured out who she was, and so Madam is offering her promotion, but not before she fulfills a favor for Madam, and of course that's going to be retrieving that shirt and getting it back to Don. Doc. I keep calling him Doc. Okay. It appears that Amp and Dime are taking baby steps to getting back in each other's good graces, because in the last episode, we were doing tryouts for new people, and one of the dudes didn't like Dime's decision, and so he tried to assault her outside of the club, and Amp was waiting in the wings to make sure she got to her car safely, and punched the guy out, you know, in her honor, and so she's feeling gracious because of that. Either way, he sends her flowers, and he asks for her to go on a walk with him tomorrow, and she's very thankful for him taking up for her. And I don't know. I need you guys' input on this specifically. There's a little, like, I hate to use the word because I don't have another word, but like the simpish type role that Amp is playing, it's strange. But I think we also kind of saw that in the beginning of him and Dime, you know, getting together, and then when things got too far along, that's when that explosive anger came in, you know, that has not fared well for at least 3 women in his life that I can count. So I don't know. I don't know, is he truly sympathetic, or is he just doing this to kind of get back in her good graces? Because I don't know, once he finds out that she slept with Mr. New Orleans, what's really going to happen? Is that anger going to get back up, bubble back up to the surface? Because it's never really far behind him. So we'll see. Either way, Babyface goes to Madam to tell her what Tandy asked him to do, because she did she did a drive-by in earlier episodes, and I think it was episode 1, and she couldn't. And then D.A. Rods comes over to commiserate over being shot at, trying to figure out who's trying to unalive her, not knowing it's her friend Tandy. And Tandy's like, well, hey, Babyface, can you do this for me? Because I'm too scared, and Madam asked me to do it, blah, 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 blah. And so Babyface knows the protocol. You go back and you let Madam know what's happening. And she says, like, listen, I told her to do it. I mean, she tells her, like, I don't know what Tandy, basically plays dumb. I don't know what Tandy's talking about, but I'll deal with it. Thanks for letting me know. But then goes off to hauls off and slaps his ass, where she was like, listen, don't nobody like a snitch. I'm like, girl, you ain't been without your mans that long. Like, you are unhinged. Like, the man is doing you a favor, and he would already be swimming with the fishes had he not told you, but whatever. It's Madam. We all already know she's a little not here with us up here. Okay. Lola's at the precinct, eyeballing the evidence locker, and, you know, before she could do anything, she does run into D.A. Davis, and so that kind of aborts that particular mission, but we'll get back to her. Madam goes to see Tandy in person, and Tandy looks like she saw a ghost child. She is afraid for her life. And Madam reminds her that you need to do what I told you myself, or the relationship that we agreed upon, all bets are going to be off, and I'm going to take you up out of here as well. And I don't know why Tandy's getting a lot of chances, because Concierge's wife, Tandy, and a female judge in maybe last season or the season before, they were besties. Concierge's wife no longer exists at the hands of Madam. The judge no longer exists at the hands of Madam. And Tandy, you keep getting a lot of grace, and you keep pushing the buttons as if you don't know that Madam is capable of taking people off of Earth. But here we are. All right. Blue is at home when she gets a knock on the door, and it looks like it's one of her battle buddies. Someone she served in the military with. And she's there to talk about another one of their comrades being Jamal Thomas, Mr. Thomas. Mr. Thomas decided to eat his service weapon, take himself off the planet, so to speak. And he had been struggling with PTSD for a long time. And the battle buddy is telling Blue, like, she admits that herself had been going to therapy because a lot of the stuff that they saw while on deployment and the things that they have been required to do during their time in the military. And she tells Blue that, hey, I think her name is Williams. Therapy has really helped her, and she was able to release a lot of stuff. But she is there on a greater mission. She is there because Thomas asked for his ashes to be given to Blue. And he wanted her to have them. And then she offers her opportunity to hang out, like, hey, I know you need to process all of this. I will be at such and such hotel for the next few days. If you want to hang out, let me know before I go. But, sit in this thing and process it, and we will reconvene later. All right, Madam sends Tommy to get her meds, and the doctor he's not approving it. He shut that down, and Tommy has to let her know. And she's like, listen, send him to me immediately. I got some words for him. And so we'll deal with that later on in the episode. But then Lola shows up to meet with Madam, and she has done some recon on the evidence locker and to let her know, like, what the gate codes are, the best time to be there, the shift change, how long they got. They got about 5 minutes to get this evidence out of the locker in between shift changes, and all the good stuff. And so Madam was like, okay, cool. Like, step one in the plan is underway. Let's get this done. She's just sitting there waiting on Madam to give her like a step-by-step guide on what needs to be done. She's like, girl, get the fuck out of my face. Like, go do what you need to do to prove that you need this promotion that I can make happen for you. So the mission is on. All right. Williams and Blue are out jogging, and some dude kind of shoulder checks Williams as he's jogging, like not paying attention. And Blue wants to fight about it, and Williams wants to let it roll off of her back because it's really not that important. And what you see here in this scene, what I saw here, is the difference in somebody that is healing, and someone that has not even begun the healing journey, because most responses from Blue are going to be physical violence, while Williams is like what would that gain? And Blue was kind of taken aback, because she's like, listen, we served in the same foxholes. Like, girl, there was a time you shot somebody in the toe because he coughed uncovered. Like, what's going on? She's like, yes, but therapy has shown me that the reaction, it wasn't even worth it. It wasn't that deep. And I think that, again, I think I said it in my sister's episode where we're talking about Danny and her being in therapy and trying to work on this emotional thing. I think that this is going to be important. I see that, again, that's a theme that Mr. Perry is having in a lot of the series, and it's good to get the conversation going. As a Air Force vet myself, I did not deploy. I'm not going to, I'm just, I'm just not that blue, right? However, I can attest to, not only my experiences and some other people's experiences. Let me just also say, you don't have to deploy to experience PTSD in the military. Lots of things happen. I think it's important. I think it should be a part of like your exit strategy to get therapy, and as a part of your out process and checklist, because we see a lot of things. We're separated from our family. We have to adjust to being civilians again, and when you're trained to go, I'll just say that for the safest answer. When you're trained to go, it's kind of hard to learn that all those techniques that were kind of drilled into your head in that training environment. So I don't know. I think Blue should, and before William showed up, she was sitting down writing a note to somebody, and looks like she was kind of expressing some feelings. And so she's on the right path, and she may need a little bit of assistance. Now, is it too late for Blue? Maybe. I mean, she's already a stone cold killer at this point. I mean, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Moving right along. Trouble goes to see Madam, and Madam's like, listen, I need an update on your decision. What's your plan to handle Champ, with the situation? And she was like, I was oblivious to me having to rectify the situation. She was like, yeah, no, you need to come up with the punishment. You're the one that said that all of this was his idea, and so you need to, you claim you're a boss bee and you about this life. You need to figure out what the punishment is for him. I asked you that down in the cellar, and I need you to get it done. And so she thought Madam had it all figured out, and Madam was like, no ma'am, no ma'am, no ham, that's going to be on you. I'm just here to remind you to get it done. So basically, insinuating without insinuating, coming up with her plausible deniability, kind of getting some skin in the game. Everybody that's in the part of this network has to have some sort of skin in the game to buy your loyalty. And so this is Trouble's chance to do that. All right, Dr. Fong gets dragged in, and he says, exactly what we think he's going to say. I couldn't prescribe your medicine. The DA threatened to ruin my practice, and Madam's like, I don't give a damn about your license. I don't give a damn about your practice. Give me what I need. And so, of course, he's torn between the two agencies, and now he has to do what Madam wants him to do. All right, so Lola goes to get the shirt from the evidence locker. Her and Fuego are working. He's working the tech side of the house, and Lola's going to do the manpower. He cuts the power for long enough for her to put her code in, which if he put her code in, why she's still putting in an electronic key, I don't know. Whatever. I'm not a tech genius. Who knows? Either way, she goes back there she has she's prepared for the power to go out. She got her flashlight. She's looking up the information, and she's grabbing the shirt. Well, the envelope that has the shirt in it, she grabbed it out of the evidence locker. And before she can get back out, because this fool shut the damn gate behind. Why would you? This is a wire gate. If anybody turns the corner and sees you, they're going to see you whether that door is open or not. You should have left the damn door open to cut down on your time of getting in and out of there. Rookie mistake. Either way, before she can get back out of there, the backup generator cuts on, and now she's locked inside of the evidence locker. Somehow she was able to figure out how to get out of there, and she got the evidence, and so we're good. Crisis averted, but it was a close call. Now, I don't know with the power coming back on. The camera's able to catch her? I don't know. We'll figure it out next week. Either way, Concierge has some sort of shipment coming in that Madam was able to get some intel on, and she sent Mr. Baldy, the new character that came in, sent him to go take everything that was in that trailer. And we see where the concierge shows up, and he sees that she was able to get the drop on him and get everything out of that trailer, whatever that is of value, and leave his two associates, leave their heads swinging from the rearview mirror as a consolation, as a little extra little jab. So of course that means that the gloves are off, and you gonna get me first, I'm gonna get you first, but the race is on. Okay, Madam presents Doc with the shirt from the evidence locker, and he is more than grateful. He would kiss her feet if he could. He's grateful, and she's like, listen, don't ask me how I got it. You know not to ask too many questions. You know how this goes. But I don't ever want to hear anything about the shirt again, which means get the shirt and do what you got to do to get rid of the shit. Like, don't piss me off. And I know that Doc is pretty well versed in how this thing works, but I wondered, does he have to pay some sort of penance because she had to call in all these favors and get all these moving parts together to get the shirt back? Like, are you going to have to? I know you already did a couple favors for Madam to kind of earn your spot on the team, but do you have to pay for this? That's my question. So we will see. I'm sure that part is to be determined. Either way, Tommy runs in and lets her know, like, hey, D.A. Davis is out there with a bunch of cops. They got the club surrounded. Come handle this. And so she has to go out and see what's going on because there's a bunch of hullabaloo, and D.A. Davis was able to get her arrest warrant, so she's coming there to gloat about that. And Madam, of course, she ain't worried about it at all. Tommy tells her, like, hey, go ahead and call Lovett, which is, I'm sure, is the lawyer. I'll be out by morning. I'm really not too worried about it because D.A. Davis, you are there and you're talking real cash, and I want to take you out in handcuffs in front of all these people that love and adore you. Blah blah blah. Whatever she wants to do to I guess make Madam feel bad or make the people not love her as much as they do, whether out of fear or actual love, or whatever. But you don't even know, like, girl, while you were leaving the office, the shirt was passing you the other way. So your evidence is now gone. There is going to be no case, and she's going to be let go yet again. But here we are. Either way, rounding out the episode, we see Trouble, and she is at Champ's house because they were legit friends, you know. She is, they're playing spades, and she can't focus because she is distracted by what she's presumed that she needs to do. And she's too distracted to think, and so she tells him, like, hey, I'm about to go to the bathroom. Can you make me a drink? By the time I come back, you know, we can finish out the game. But once he turns his back, she pulls out a plastic grocery bag, child, and smothers him, puts it over his face until he stops moving. And the whole way through this thing, he's struggling, and she's apologizing like it was me or you, I'm so sorry. Now, it's a grocery bag, right? You know what, logistically, it don't really make no sense because I'd have took my hand and poke that bag off my nose, and we would just had to been fighting there. We just would have had to fight for my life. Either way, she got the jump on him, we're assuming, and she has done what she believes is her method of revenge. Now, had you left it up to me, because yes, it was his idea, but you also took your dumb ass over there and robbed them people as well, so you're accountable. So what I would have done is, I mean, she didn't say that he had to be unalived. Like, I would have, like, chopped a finger off, chopped a toe off, like, shot him in a, you know, somewhere unmajor. It's hard to gauge that, you know, whatever. Anyway, something not mortal. Like, she didn't say that you had to take him off the planet completely. That's not what she said. She just said it's up to you to determine what his punishment is. And so you had a whole range of punishment. You had a whole range between do absolutely nothing and kill him. There was a whole lot of stuff that you could use at your discretion, but it's Trouble, and she's just eager to please, and so, you know, she's done what she decided that she needed to do. Of course, she's gonna go to Madam next week and be like, hey, yeah, I took Champ off the planet. I did what I needed to do. And Madam's gonna look at her like, girl, I didn't tell you to do that, but congratulations. That's probably what's gonna happen. Either way, like I said, the show is back. I'm excited. You know, y'all know that I love this show. One of my favorites, actually. You know, because she's a bad bee. Like, when she was going in there with the Tommy gun to get her daddy back, I was like, yeah, shoot this girl. Either way, let's talk about it in the comments what y'all think about the episode. Things are picking up. Hopefully this concierge stuff can be wrapped up this season, because he wasn't even in last season but a couple times. Like, let's just go ahead and let Mr. Keys move on to something greater. He is a EP or creator or whatever he is, so he has a ton of things to do. Either way, let's wrap the concierge storyline up. All right. Like, comment, share, subscribe, or whatever it is that you feel like doing. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I